and we're going to explode it right in there, and yes! How's it going, guys? Dragast here, and welcome back to another beautiful Friday. That means, obviously, we're checking out some of the best Besiege creations. Now, starting off, I figured we'd do something a little bit different, something we haven't seen before. This is a calculator in Besiege. Now, it's a very simple calculator. It can only solve mathematical problems that are lower than 10, and it can only, from what I understand, do addition, but there's supposed to be a subtraction one that you can download as well. Now, how this thing works, basically, we have the numpad on an ordinary American keyboard, and then the number keys above the letters on the left-hand side of the keyboard. Now, what you want to do is have one of the numbers on the left-hand side, and then one of the numbers utilizing the numpad, and then, assuming you've done this correctly, one of the beams should pop up, and the beam that pops up is the answer to the question. So, for example, we'll do something simple like 2 plus 3. So 2, something happened, plus 3, it should equal 5, and yes, as you can see, that beam pops up, and it equals 5. You can go, again, all the way up to 10, so we can do, for example, 7 plus 2. There we go, and that is, if you stare at it long enough, 9. So I thought this was pretty cool. 1 plus 6, that should be 7, and yes, indeed, 7 does pop up. Now, how it works, if you are curious, it's got a bunch of expanding blocks here that have 2 different ways they expand. So if we use the number keys above the letters on the keyboard, they go in this side fashion, you can see, all the way up to the top. And then the numpad keys will go from top to bottom and push all the rows alongside. Now, this pattern, once you combine 2 together, will push it long enough to push one of these things up, and that should be the answer to your mathematical question. So I thought that was really neat, a simple idea to make a calculator in Besiege. I'm assuming this is how a lot of the Minecraft calculators and whatnot work too, because it does work phenomenally well. So yeah, I thought we would start off with that. Let's get into something more explosive though, shall we? And when I said more explosive, I meant it. Welcome everybody to the MZKT 79221 missile truck. This is a transporter erector launcher. So yes, it's a missile launcher, and it's a very big missile at that. It looks kind of like a penis. So I figured we'd go to a new map here. Well, it's actually an older map, but something we haven't seen in a while, and I'll see if I can hit this thing. Now, I have no idea how to aim this thing. I've never launched it before. It seems... Oh, God, this is... Okay, I was wondering what I was hitting there. Clearly, the wall is not that far away from the middle of the map, so hopefully we're far enough away to launch this bad boy, but again, I've never launched it, so bear with me here if we do miss our first shot. Alright, so let's raise... Okay, now we're good. I think I was lowering it when I was supposed to be raising it. So, yes, we have raised the missile. I think I broke the missile, guys. It might be totally broken, but we're gonna try it, damn it, regardless. Now, there's no real way to aim this thing, so, this is all you can really do. And, let's try and fire it. Okay. Okay, I definitely broke that missile. Okay, that looks like it's all aimed up, so we're just going to attach to the missile here, and hopefully this time the whole thing doesn't explode, so... What the hell? What the hell, game? Oh, sure, now you work. What? That was such a lie, too, by the way. This is definitely not as big as I thought it would be. But yes, clearly it does work. It just doesn't want to work with me when I'm actually aiming it up. What the hell? What? I didn't even shoot it yet! Alright, I feel like the issue with this thing is it raises too damn fast, so we're just gonna take our time here and slowly do it. Actually, we don't even need it that high, I don't think. That looks like it's gonna be aimed right up, so I gotta go inside this thing. Now that I know it's a damn lie and it's only just a little missile in here, there we go, we connected to it. Alright, let's try and shoot this thing. Please don't explode on me, please don't... What the fuck? And boom goes... boom goes the fucking truck, I guess. And boom goes... Come on, what was that? This is a missile launcher. That is definitely not missile range. Alright, well, this thing's gonna win no reliability competitions, but god damn it, it's not gonna beat me here. Alright, this feels good. I'm feeling good about it. Let that sucker... Damn it. fucking worked! Okay, I was getting a little worried there, guys, I gotta be honest, because this thing just, let's just say it's not the most reliable thing. I'm sure you'll see my, nightmares in this video, but yes, we fucking did it! Only after the 67th rocket, we have successfully annihilated our target, and it is, like, totally gone. That was such a good ending to that thing. So yeah, that is the MZKT 79221 missile truck. It is not the most reliable thing, but it's one of the most rewarding explosions when you do successfully aim it. Oh, I forgot to show. It also, it kind of opens its doors. It's kind of weird, but it's still, yeah, they kind of open. Alright, and I thought I would show you one more missile launcher. This one's called the Hawking Missile Launcher, a little bit more high-tech than the other one. This one's supposed to shoot so-called antimatter missiles or Hawking missiles. Now, what these missiles basically do is suck things into them when they do land into the ground. So it's kind of like shooting a black hole. Sounds pretty damn fun, right? We're going to try it out here. It does have a very, very long range, and you're also supposed to lob it basically directly into the air so it lands on top of targets and will suck everything in around it. So you want to shoot this thing really high up in the air. I'm going to connect to... I'm hoping this is all the missile. I have no idea. We're going to launch this thing and see what happens here. So there we go. We have launched it. You can see the range on this thing is quite drastic. Now, I am controlling it in air. We're going to want to drop it. And it's looking like we're going to hit Peasant Village over here, which is totally fine. And we're going to suck in and explode at the same time. And you can see some of the things did get sucked in, and it worked pretty damn well. That was interesting, man. That is some high-tech missile equipment there. Alright, I thought it'd be fun to try this missile against some actual units and see if we can suck them in. So I'm all the way at the edge of the map, basically, and we are going to launch this thing pretty much directly upwards because it is pretty close to us, and this thing has some serious range on it. So, I slowed down time this time, so hopefully we can react a little bit faster, because there's 3 stages to this missile system here, so it's not the easiest thing to launch, but if we can get a good hit here, it should be one of the best missiles to watch destroy things. So we're going to launch it up. Again, we don't want to go too high here, so I'm going to start bringing this thing down. Oh, maybe we went a little bit too far. It's hard to tell right now. No, actually, we should be able to dive bomb these guys. There we go. It's kind of like controlling a plane right now. And right before we hit the ground, we want to suck things in, and there we go. It's basically sucking everyone into the middle of this missile here and absolutely demolishing them. I was hoping it would suck in a little bit more, gotta be honest, but still, it's just a very interesting missile, and it totally crashed the game. Great! Alright, well, I guess that's what happens when you play with antimatter. So, we're at the Duke's Plea again. I wanted to do one more shot here. I figured this would be a good map since there's a lot of rubble on it. To see if we can actually get this antimatter rocket to really showcase what it's all about. So, we're going to slow down time again. We'll see if we can hit this thing. It's a pretty small target in the grand scheme of things, so hopefully we can get lucky this first shot here. I think we went a little bit too far. Maybe, just maybe we can get it down fast enough. Oh yeah, this actually might be good. Alright, stopping the pull downwards, and we're going to explode it right in there, and oh, yes! That's what I'm talking about! That's the anti-missile that I wanted, or the antimatter missile, rather, that I wanted. And holy shit, that might be the best Duke's Plea explosion yet. I know I say that every now and then, but I don't think anything has topped that. I sucked in that whole castle, man. Alright, well, you wanted explosions, there you go. So, a very awesome missile launcher, the Hawking Missile Launcher. Alright, and I figured we'd do something a little bit more simple, I guess you could say. There's a lot of great vehicles in this game, but they don't really do much aside from be vehicles. So, thankfully, now that there's modded maps, we can actually check some of these out and have some fun with them. This is the Baja Buggy, and wow, look at that engine. That is some great attention to detail. Looks like it has some really good suspension, so I figured we would give that suspension a try and check out the Gobi Desert here. So this is one of the modded maps that I downloaded. It does have a speed boost, by the way. I guess it uses rockets here. And as you can see, this is the first time I'm experiencing, like, real terrain in Besiege. It's amazing. I don't know why they don't go for more rocky terrain in Besiege with the ordinary levels, but they really should, because the creations that they're making now really need terrain like this. I think this would add a lot to the game. And you know what? You can mod it in, so you may as well do that. But this is just amazing. Like, you can really tell how good Besiege physics are now that we have things like this, because you can just go around and quite literally bomb the desert. Let's see if we can do a little jump there. There we go. Oh, that's going to destroy it. Yep. That wasn't good at all. All right, let's reset it one more time and just have some fun doing this. All right, for a little buggy, though, this is really well done. Again, there's nothing crazy about this buggy. It doesn't shoot rockets or anything. It just has a little bit of a speed boost and some great suspension on it. You can see it's just riding these hills just fine. This is actually a really big map, too. I love that they added clouds in these maps, too. So when you're flying... Whoa! Jesus, we just blew out the back end, and I don't even know how. All right, let's see if we can keep going for a little bit. 3 wheels ain't stopping me. Well, kind of 3.5. This one's still hanging out somehow, but yes, there we go. Ah, this is working great. It's still totally fine. Is this the edge of the map? Yep, gonna say that's the edge of the map. All right, and this one I am extremely excited about. If you are a tank nerd, this is something that is truly impressive. A lot of attention to detail went into designing this M2 Bradley IFV. And I'm excited to show you guys it. So, obviously, it's a tank. I think you guys know that by now. Does work remarkably well in terms of movement as well. But what's truly impressive about this thing, it is a high-tech tank, is the weaponry on it. So we're going to try that out right now once I turn this thing around and set it up. So as you can see, this thing's got a main gun on it. It's also got a missile rack on the left-hand side, which we can open up here. We will open that up. It's got 2 missiles in there. We will be shooting those in the very near future. First of all, let's go to the main turret here, which is this one. So this is actually something called a CIV. It's a Commander's Independent Viewer. So this is for the commander of the tank to look around and view. It's basically got better magnification than the ordinary turret aimer. Now, for what we're doing, we don't really need that, because I'm going to be aiming the actual turret here. Now, this is probably one of the best reticles I've seen for a tank in this game. Now, this thing over here, you can see this thing moving around. This is actually your turret position indicator. So if it's looking directly ahead, that means your turret is directly in front of your tank. So it's very useful when you are moving and shooting. For example, if we have it this way, it's 90 degrees to the right, obviously. And when we look outside, you can see that right there. So that alone, something that you don't normally see in Besiege, really freaking cool. This is also a very accurate crosshair aiming reticle, whatever you want to call it. So let's try and aim for something a little bit further away. Yes, there we go. We got a little windmill up on the mountain over here, so I'm going to aim up. By the way, I also love that that little dot in the middle actually does follow the turret. It doesn't just stay in the middle. That is exactly where the turret is aimed. So what we're going to want to do is obviously put that in the middle of the windmill. Now, this thing does have a little bit of wobble, as you can see, so it does take a while to aim up. Alright, unfortunately I ran into some wobbly turret issues there, so sometimes random shit like that happens in Besiege. It's just part of the game. Looks like the turret is much better now, though, so that's good. So we're going to aim this thing up. Now, we do need to account for bullet drops, so, you know what? That should be good. We're pretty far away. I don't know how far away we are, though. Hopefully this should be good. Let's try it out. Let's see how accurate this thing is. Okay, I did see the bullet hit below it, so we do have some quite drastic bullet drop here. Alright, accounting for bullet drop, this might be a good shot. Let's try it out. It might need to drop even more. Nope! There we go. We accounted for it, and we took out our target. So, a very accurate reticle. Unfortunately, it does not account for bullet drop, though. Regardless, one of the coolest tanks I've seen, and of course, we do got that missile launcher. Now, these things you can't really aim. You just shoot them and hope for the best. So, there we go. Oh, look at that. It bounces off the ground. And look at that, we got a little bit of firework. We'll shoot the other one off as well. So, it is a timed explosive, obviously, and, yeah, that's pretty damn cool. So, yeah, once again, this was the M2 Bradley, very high-tech tank in Besiege. Very awesome to check out. It only goes 35 kilometers an hour. I think they're supposed to go a lot faster than that, so it's not obviously a replica. There's nothing in Besiege that's a replica, let's be honest here. But still a pretty damn fast tank in Besiege standards. Alright guys, and that's gonna wrap it up for another episode of the Best Besiege Creations. Now, we started off with something educational. I figured we'd end off with something educational as well. This is a real working, scaled solar system. So it actually only has all the way up until Jupiter. So, yeah, only 5 of the planets are on this, but it's because of the size of this. So on each one of these little things is a different planet. Obviously, the first one being Mercury here. You would think the big stone is it? Let's actually just connect to it so I can zoom in. But no, that is not it. Again, this is scaled, right? So you can see that little dot up at the top. That is Mercury, guys. And I just love the fact that this is actually scaled, and these things will slowly get bigger and bigger the further we go on. It's scaled by distance and size of planets if you are curious. Now we can start off, there's Mercury. I'm just going through the cameras now. There's Venus. Of course, next up we got the blue planet, Mr. Earth. And then Mars, and then finally Jupiter, which is way, I mean, you can't even see the sun anymore in the distance. If you are curious about size, here we go. So the first 4 planets are not that far away, as you can see. We can still see it in the distance there. There is little old Mars. Now, way down the road here, I'm gonna, well, I can't really speed up, unfortunately. I need to go very, very slowly across this whole landscape to reach Jupiter. But I did want to show you guys the size difference of the planets so you can kind of see how the scale works. There it is. I can see it in the distance. Can I zoom in? Yes, I can. And you can see the size difference. Jupiter is almost as big as the actual Bellas there. And of course, this is a real working solar system, so obviously the planets do rotate around the sun. Now, Jupiter, I don't know if Jupiter just has very slow years. I don't think it's actually working, though. This is, you know, a little bit glitchy, but it does work. Now, I don't know how accurate these years are either. I do know that in Mercury, a year is about 88 days, so it would take about 4 Mercury years to make an Earth year, so let's figure that out. So here's Mercury, the first planet closest to the sun, and here's Earth, the third rock from the sun. So it should take 4 rotations to equal basically 1 Earth rotation. Let's see how accurate that is. So there is 1 rotation coming up on 2 rotations. Oh, I don't think this is accurate. 3 rotations. Oh, yeah, this is not accurate at all. 4 rotations, and Earth is somewhere over here right now. Let me make sure this is Earth, so I'm not really confused, but it's only done about half a year right now, and is that Earth? Yes, that is little old Earth, so unfortunately, I would not rely on this for an accurate representation of what a year is on different planets. Regardless, it's still really freaking cool. So once again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Best Besiege Creations. As always, thanks for watching and liking, guys, and I will see you in the next one.